piece. I think I wrote this in 2018, and that's also the same time I met James, who slid into my SoundCloud. What do you even call them on SoundCloud? My SoundCloud DMs. Yes, and that was the first piece I ever got like production under. It was super fancy. Yeah, I went to a studio and everything. No one paid me though. Well, they're paying me for it today. It's fine. It's catching up. So it's a very cocky piece. And the question that I tend to get a lot is where inspiration for a lot of my pieces comes from. I cannot answer that question. I think there was a time I wrote a piece because I watched a leaf fall. So I really don't know how to answer that question. And especially if it's pieces that seem like they're about someone, it's never one particular person. So that's why it's also hard for me to write pieces dedicated to a someone. It's easier dedicating it to just like a group of people, which makes the writing process easier. So I don't know if we have the track for I'm Not Your Ex. James C. Money, everybody. If I forget the lines for this one, I'll just start over and read it, and it shall be fine, yes?
Yes.
Francis, is it fine?
Why are you looking at me?
No, because you looked at me like...
No, I didn't know.
Okay, thanks. Can we start it over? Listen, I am not your ex. I'm not the 20 missed calls asking who you're with. I'm not the girl ringing your doorbell for a quick fix. Pull your pants down but never raise your head up. Let you finish but never tell you what the race is about. I'm not here just because you look like a good fit. I am not your ex, so don't compare me to someone that you don't think is worth shh. I am not your ex. I'm not the false promise of true love's kiss. Disney can't write a story like this, and I'm not fit for castles or a blonde and blue-eyed prince. But you are like in chocolate with no milk. I can't promise we won't fight, but I can promise that it will be worth it. I can't say it'll be easy, but I can say there'll definitely be profits. But I am not your ex. What I am is a whiskey and roses, a 3 a.m. dream, the message beep after a week of blue ticks. Baby, I'm the Calvary. I'm the one you knock yourself over for letting leave. And you're the one I thought of as I wrote this piece. But I am not your ex. I'm not the reason you wake up stressed. I'm the reason you put on your armor and push out your chest. I'm not the takeaway in a polythene bag in some dark alleyway. I am the sit and dine, seated beside each other with a glass of wine kind of date. I don't need to prove to you through high school rules of infatuation that I love you. You can feel it from across your room when I look at you. I don't need to constantly dress up just so you can call me beautiful. You have a way of making me feel it without the added layers of disguised inner issues. We're not our exes, and we don't need to be. We have our own storyline, a Tony Award piece, and you're the only kind of trophy I need. Not to be shelved away and only pulled out when I need to impress, so I put you out on display. I wear you proudly through my smile. Ask me why I'm happy, and I simply turn to you and they know why. We're not our exes. You and I both know that's not the equation God drafted us in. I am not your ex. But maybe I could be your reason why. And this Caucasian plane can finally form a plot for what awaits when you're mine. Thank you. Okay, so this next piece, I really hope I don't forget the lines, because I first did it in slam. I did slam with the lovely Shiko in the corner over there. So she's the, don't let her fool you with the kind smile. When she comes on stage, it's something different. But yeah, so I did this piece at slam, and slam is like a big deal in Kenya. Slam is like our poetry version of Oscars. For those who are not familiar, we have a slam king present in the house. You who is turning. Yeah, so he's also a poet. He'll be doing a piece for us soon, shortly. Sure. What is this? It would take your. I've just talked about how slam is such a big deal. It's like our knees, and then you. Anyway, it's fine. Yeah, so I did this piece last. I didn't even know because we do like 3 different rounds for slam. So you go, you get graded. Imagine you get graded. I'll come back to that. So you 0 points, get off stage. No, they write it down in a paper and then they whisper to someone and then someone comes and tells you you're out. That's a lie. They tell you on stage in front of everyone you're out. So I did this piece and then I forgot my lines. So this piece I did on the 3rd round, which means we're the final 5, 6? Final 5. So out of those 5, they were going to pick, thank you. So out of those 5, they were going to pick 3 finalists. And then we have the final one, where they pick the slam queen, and then first runners up, second runners up. Yes, yeah. So I did it. I got to a specific point. I forgot my lines, and I was like, "Sorry guys, can I start again?" And then I started again, and then I went a line further, and then I forgot again, and then I just walked off stage. So after that, I just anticipated that there would be like 20 marks off for not knowing your own lines. But I was first runners up for slam. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So hopefully this time I remember the lines because it's such a fun piece to do. And it's the first time I'll be performing it since slam. So the piece is called Daddy Issues. Trigger warning. I don't know if I need one. Do I need one? No, I should stay with this in case I forget the lines. Okay. I think I have this one. We'll see. Fingers crossed. A boy once told me that he's into women with daddy issues. He thought it was cute. Made love exciting, bedtime inviting. He said this to my face and thought I'd be... Well, actually, I have no idea what kind of reaction he expected from me. I wonder if daddy wasn't home was written all over me. Do I have the stench of the lack of a father figure? Is the rate at which I take my pants off based on whether I saw him in you? Because if it is, that should worry you. I mean, what even are the characteristics of the women that you hunt for? An identity crisis? Low self-esteem, standards of shit, terrible coping habits? Because I hate to break it to you, but that says a lot more about you than it does about me. I mean, maybe you're projecting. You see, you're basing this on assumptions that I'm lost without him, so I need you to fix me. Tell me I'm pretty, make me feel special, tell me no man deserves me. I already know this. So in this hit or miss, let me wake you from the matrix. What you're really running from is the fact that you weren't loved enough as a kid. And I'm not even saying this to be mean. This is my honest psychological assessment, so let me go in. You're drawn to broken girls because you believe their pieces are more than yours. That way you don't have to focus on how scary love is when you've never witnessed it. So now you hide your holiness in hers, and now you're both coming, but going nowhere at all. You pray to God she doesn't know how to be treated right. So now all that's left is to make sure that she's always laughing and praising God in the dark, so she never sees that she deserves better than a half-assed relationship. That way you don't have to put the work in, and no one sees that you're just as scared as she is. Basically, everybody needs therapy, and daddy issues isn't just a girl thing. Thank you. So I want to invite Emmanuel to come do for us a piece. Are you ready? Do you feel like you're ready? Yeah? Okay, so just...
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord again. So behold, I'm about to invite this pastor over here because he's the one who inspires my poetry. I listen to him a lot. You can't see him, but his name is Jesus. You know, he's always present. It's a sweaty game. I know I like her. Every time I see her, her intentions are good, but not so much her attention. You see, in these present times, her mind has been bought off. I don't know how much she's worth. Well, in her state of mind, I doubt I can afford her. To be able to hold her with a hand, or rather a heart, that ain't scared of losing her to a man more screwed than I am. She's a good girl. just yet to screw up. This peaceful heart of hers hasn't yet acquired the magnitude of loving oneself for one's flaws. You can't be certain that you will father her when she goes cry baby of her own full self. She's yet to figure out that no matter how much you try to fit into people's ideal, they still choose others over you, even if they like you. NB, like you, not love you. You see, character is what many undermine, but I don't. I hold it higher than gold. It's precious and long-lasting. Because out here, those who pray me die to have the long, I mean the tall, lasting, these statues of strength, these six-packs, these six-sacks, these masks deprive us of liberty rather than protect us. We still kiss the ones who fall for us, but not the ones we love. Like, are we that petty? Trying to find an excuse for our fetish? We've gone from playing main TV roles of our own lives to being doubles of TV-inspired ambitions. Watch me, like me, do you, not me. Do you know you're you, not me. My words should only inspire you to dare to be you. Because I still fight feelings of self-denial when I can just acknowledge how amazing I am naturally with or without this poetry, with or without this lovely lady by my side. I still run to this man shackled with desire to touch but not destroy. So please, tell me what tactic to deploy if I want a wife and not bed her. She's not my abnormalities. She's my nostalgia of places of me I don't like to look at or look to. Like that part of me that ticks just to see hips. You see, this man is anointed, but not void of flesh, existing in a vacuum. His flesh and blood too. Still prays he goes vegetarian whenever lust sticks him, and his cannibal teeth start to reveal. I'm not the devil, but my intentions sometimes are to kill. But my flesh is eternally bedeviled to succumb to its frailties. Only the grace to say no to ungodliness keeps me running, keeps me fleeing these fleeting beauties on my youthful path. So go ahead and judge me. Judge me, O ye fellow believer, that I'm still in the flesh. Judge me, O ye Gentile, for never pursuing her for my own selfish ambitions, but letting the innocent bird fly away peacefully back into the sky, uncertain of its future, because I'm done playing its Prince Charming to date her, or playing God to save her from the man she meets after me. Evangelical poet.
Woo. So I think I'm gonna get right into it. I woke up and stared at my pussy. I looked at her, acknowledging the feminine divine. My pussy is mine. I took it back from society, who pushed me to behave in a certain way merely because of what I possessed between my eyes. I took it back from the lineage of women who before me whispered that a woman must have a child. I took it back from my mother, who hopes that one day a child will form from my bones. I took it back from men whose only intentions were to satisfy some needs, find solace within me, empty themselves into me. I took it back from my man, who only comes to it when in need of relief. Who only comes to it when in need of relief. I'm gonna stop that piece there for many reasons. That particular piece I wrote during I did something called Theatre for Development. So a woman came to me talking to me about what she's experienced sexually, and I felt her pain because I think previously in past experiences it's something I've experienced. So next piece. I'm shaking. Thank you. How does the grass feel when it loses its green? Or when a tree loses its leaves? The flappy skin that you have for face. Will that happen to me? For I'm about to turn 25 and I'm constantly pulling my eyes to check whether age has visited me. I've watched wrinkles getting comfortable on mother's face. I watched her dye her hair when it turned grey. I watched her get corsets after the hormones decided to descend on her just after she hit menopause. I'm afraid someone convinced me that forever young, that's what's ideal. So I fear that I'll grow old and my butt will shrivel up like a raisin. And I'm afraid that I'll lose the title Mrembo. And that I'll look at young girls and feel a lump in my throat. That I'll be bitter with mirrors. That youthful exuberance will flee from me, leaving me an angry woman, mocking young girls for the fact that they wear their heels with socks or the way they have poor relationships with bras. I'm afraid that I will forget how to work the latest social media platforms. TikTok hasn't given me much hope in regards to this. I'm afraid that I will turn into a cougar because I love young boys. I am still young. I've allowed the fear of aging to turn my body into its torture room, with my soul as a ready victim, slating my confidence with thoughts of gaining weight in places it's not welcomed, and the fear that if I don't snatch up a man by 30, I'll have missed my shot at love. Look how we limit ourselves, how we separate ourselves from grace, how we forget that our age is the perfect place to be in this time and space. You don't need to be brave to age. You don't need strength to age. You don't need to suffer through your age because just like death, that's our destined fate. So I sit legs crossed and my hands in prayer position, hoping that I will be the queen who knows when to hand it over to the next generation.
Yes.
So this next piece is also a 2018 piece. I think I was going to lie to you people. I don't remember when the last time it was I performed it, but I did do it for KTN's, what was it called? Life and Style. Yes, I did it for that show.
What was that? What was that? What is it about that show?
Okay.
Tell us about
The
the show.
story.
The story.
Before you start, give us the tea.
No. It was good exposure, you know?
Hey.
It was nice. Yeah, so I don't know how well I relate to this now, but at the time it was deep. I was feeling it. I was feeling it in my soul, in my chest. Okay. Asiyefunzwa na mamaye hufunzwa na ulimwengu. I wonder which one bears harsher lessons. I have a degree, but in every angle I look at it, I still feel like I have more to prove to make you believe in me. 8 years in primary school, 4 years in high school, 4 years in university, a 3-month unpaid internship, hopefully not stuck just getting coffee, then you still want 10 years experience in a field I'm yet to plow in. There are no units on how to be an adult. No one even teaches you when or how you should do your taxes. See, adulthood doesn't come with transparency. If anything, we all just learn to be more politically correct and socially competent. Because who is to say that there needs to be a checklist to live a happy life? Who drew up the template and said it's globally alright? Be good, go to college, get a work, where's your desk, where's your ring, don't play, there's not too many good men left nowadays. Get a kid, teach them this. Try not to get divorced even though you were coerced now. Sit alone in your fancy house and watch life pass you by as you instill the same cycle into your kids who said life needs to be like this. Is that really the blueprint to your happiness? It amazes me how society has set up a 1-2-3 step on how to best live your life, but we're the ABCs to my pain and inability to conform to this. You see, some of us were forced to grow up too fast. By 6, I knew what molestation is. I didn't know the noun, but I knew the verb. So did a lot of my friends. We talk about it over coffee dates, then move on because everyone goes through things like this. Nature versus nurture, I wonder what brought most of us up. I remember what it was like being 14, 16, waiting on my metamorphosis. That's what the movies told me it would be like. A fairy tale. Teenage dream come true, my final form, my rebirth. However, when you're stuck in Wonderland with an identity crisis, it gets a bit difficult to sprout your wings. To pretend that sunshine isn't blinding when you're used to hiding, the flying isn't nerve-wracking, that you haven't found the best version of yourself yet, you're stuck listening to everybody else, so you learn to wear masks. Learn to respond accordingly. Live in alternate realities, soak your sense and false confidence. I wish someone told me. Told me that adulthood is kind of a trap. Responsibility is heavy and it weighs on your back, that everyone is still learning and the ones that stopped aren't living. That's just a mundane existence. I wish someone reminded me that my brace face, tomboy phase was nothing short of a temporary reality, but regardless, it was still mine. That girls can play sports and still be feminine, that not all boys are out to break my heart, that school is school and art is too, that daydreaming isn't stupid if you wake up still believing and pursue it. I wish someone told me not to judge a book by its cover, that there are so many stories to discover, but first impressions still matter. You see, getting advice from someone wiser than you is good. However, we might be reading from the same book, but we're on different chapters. I guess I wish someone told me to enjoy my youth. I really don't know how to end pieces, so maybe you guys can help. Queens. We have a surplus of them. So we've decided to categorize and term them further. Locally, we have the slay queens, just don't be queer, Rafiki. You can love another queen as long as it's for the pleasure of the king. You're a queen as long as you have that haven between your thighs, a learned gleam in your eyes, as long as you sit right, do your hair nice, don't be wild, are you educated? Do you have a dust job, are you married? No, actually, you're stronger if you don't want him. No, actually, you single ones are the troublemakers, the homewreckers sit quietly. Actually, if you want to get married, you're just conforming to British rules and taking us back by centuries. So tell me, what exactly do you want from me? Don't act so indiscriminately to what society has been teaching you. We're a civilized society. The haven we were talking about has been colonized. Act like it. But then again, don't. We're future forward, aren't we? It's funny, isn't it? How we teach young girls to love themselves. How we tell them to simply be themselves, but then build them a box and tell them, be yourselves in here. They tell you, you're a real-life Wonder Woman. Then marvel at you when you follow through, act whimsical. Put on a tight suit and go out and do the things that you want to do. Gawk at you when you don't want the suit and you want to paint or sing or write poetry. Perform it before them, bare your soul to them, then they snap their fingers, smile at you, and let them ask, so what is it that you really do? Who are you? No, who do they allow you to be? See, it's easy to play the victim when you create the crime scene that's society for you. I've accepted that I like the color pink, but yellow is still my golden halo. I've accepted that skirts and dresses make me feel sexy and feminine, but I love a pantsuit that shows I've got power, that draws your eyes to my thighs in every angle and every mile and every inch of this body that you love to hate. You'll respect me if I say I love it and hate it when I don't show it to you. Then again, turn and call me a slut if I love it like you do. Wonder why I'm so shy when I had it from you. Call me a prude. I love romantic movies and novels about lost love and union. I love science and the idea that there's a God in all of us. I am who I am. Blasphemy. I will do what I love, rebelling at his speak. I will marry whom I love. I must not be a feminist. I will stay single and still be happy. I must be a feminist. I am who I am. I am a complex being, and yes, female is part of that identity. I am who I am. Deal with it. Thank you. So, earlier on, we all wrote a piece together. If I ever publish it, you will each get a little something. Don't quote me.
Oh, what?
Nah. So the last one we did, this is how it turned out. The angel said, hallelujah. Hallelujah, it's gonna be a sunny day. Day with flowers, flowers under the masons, masons who build lives, lives on Instagram. Instagram filters that paint false pictures, pictures that paint a false reality. Reality that makes the angels weep. Weep with sadness or happiness. Tears bring strength. Strength that we all hate to show.